Students, welcome to my class. In this class, we are going to study the effect of temperature on a rate of a chemical reaction. We had already learned that the rate of a reaction is influenced by several factors like concentration of the reactants, nature of the reactants, catalyst, and also temperature. We had learned that when you increase the concentration of the reactants, the rate of reaction will be increased. In the similar way, when you increase the temperature of a particular chemical reaction, it is found that the rate of chemical reaction is also increased. So that means the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the temperature. For example, if you see the decomposition of N2O5, so actually N2O5 decomposes to give rise to NO2 and O2. If you observe the speed half-life of this reaction at 50 degrees centigrade, it is only 12 minutes. It takes 12 minutes. Half-life is 12 minutes. The same at 25 degrees was observed to be 5 hours. So half-life of the same reaction is found to be 5 hours. At 0 degrees centigrade, it was observed that the reaction's half-life is 10 days. That means here, as the temperature is increasing, the speed of the reaction is also increasing. So you can see one more example. KMnO4 oxidizes oxalic acid. You know oxalic acid H2C2O4. It oxidizes oxalic acid into carbon dioxide. So here, if you see this reaction at low temperature, the decolorization of KMnO4 is slow. That means here KMnO4 has a pink color. As it begins to react, slowly its color will be decreased. That indicates that products are forming here and the reactant's concentration is decreasing. But when you increase the temperature, the decolorization of KMnO4 is faster. That means here the rate of reaction is increased by increasing the temperature. So when you increase the temperature, the KMnO4 color will be decolorized very fast. So anyway, what we have understood by these two examples, temperature has an effect on the rate of reaction. That is, the rate of reaction will be increased by the increasing in the temperature. So actually, Arrhenius mathematically given an equation that relates the temperature and rate constant. So just now I told you that rate is directly proportional to the temperature. So based on certain observations, Arrhenius had given an equation that relates between the rate of reaction, or here rate constant I am taking, because rate constant is directly proportional to the rate of reaction, and temperature. So what he has given is this one. Rate constant K is equals to A into e power minus EA by RT. So here K is known to us, it is velocity constant. We call A as Arrhenius factor, and this is also called as a frequency factor. And here EA, the term EA is called as energy of activation or activation energy. I will tell you what is meant by activation energy. And T is absolute temperature and R is ideal gas constant. So this was the relation given by Arrhenius. Clearly you can see that rate is dependent on the temperature. To understand the effect of the temperature, we have to understand the basic mechanism explained by the collision theory. Collision theory is a theory, one of the theories that will explain the mechanism of a chemical reaction. If you see the collision theory, according to collision theory, the reactant molecules will be changed into the products by making collisions. That means what it says is that the reactants make collisions. Because of these collisions, they will form product, but not directly here. One activated complex is formed. That is nothing but an intermediate is formed here. Reactant molecules make collisions to produce an intermediate like activated complex that will decompose to finally give rise to products. This is what given by the collision theory. Actually, when the reactant molecules collide among themselves, their existing old bonds will be broken and new bonds will be formed. But according to collision theory, reactant molecules after making collisions, they will form an unstable activated complex and that will finally decompose to give the product. Reactant is converted into activated complex which is being unstable decomposes to the product here. But here while they are making collisions, the reactants molecule should have a minimum energy. Only the reactant molecules which have a minimum energy and with the proper orientation of their collision. Orientation means direction here. If they have proper direction in their collision, then they can give the product. Only those collisions will give the product. If the reactant molecules without sufficient energy, if they react, if they collide, they cannot give the product. Those are ineffective. So that only effective collisions will give the products. What are the effective collisions? The collisions made by the molecules, reactant molecules, where the reactant molecules have a minimum energy, minimum activated energy and a proper orientation. Both are important. If they have energy, sufficient energy, that is not sufficient. They should have a proper direction when they are colliding. If they have only direction without proper energy, they don't have sufficient energy, even though they collide with proper energy, those will not be called as effective collisions. Effective collisions means the collisions which can give the product. Ineffective collisions will not give the product. That is most important. Now here I told you that some minimum energy is required by the molecules when they are colliding. The effective collisions means the reactant molecules should have a minimum energy, that is called as threshold energy. Here I have introduced one more term, threshold energy. It is given with ET. What is meant by threshold energy? The minimum energy possessed by the reactant molecules possessed by reacting reacting molecules to form the products is known as threshold energy. So if they don't have that energy and proper orientation, the collisions will not lead to the product formation. We know that in cricket, when a bowler is bowling, he has to concentrate both on the line and length. If the line of the ball is good and length is not correct, then that ball can be hit very easily by the batsman. If length is correct and line is not good, then also that can be easily played by the batsman. Both line and length, both are important. In the same way here, for effective collisions, the reactant molecule should have a minimum threshold energy. They should require certain energy when they are making collisions. Why it is required? Because when they are colliding, their old bonds has to be broken and new bonds have to be formed. So that they should have minimum energy. If they don't have that energy, their bonds will not be broken and new bonds will not be formed. That is the reason. Now let us study some other points relating to the effect of temperature. So here we have understood that the reactant molecule should have a minimum energy. So that energy will be given by temperature. So when you increase the temperature of the reactants, they will have that minimum energy, and so that their collisions will become effective collisions. But here when you give the heat or when you increase the temperature of a system of reactants, that means if you increase the temperature of the reactants, not all the reactants will absorb the temperature to the same extent. First of all, let us observe what will happen to the temperature when you increase the temperature of reactants. Here we consider one example of formation of HI. Hydrogen combines with iodine to give rise to 2HI. I will explain here by taking a potential energy on y-axis and a reaction coordinate on x-axis. So how this graph we are going to draw, and what is the potential energy and everything for this hydrogen and iodine. So first of all, hydrogen molecules are H2 here and iodine molecule is I2. When they make collisions, what will happen? They will form an activated complex. Observe this properly. So this is called as an activated complex. When they collide, what will happen? They will form an activated complex. What is happening here? A new bond is formed between hydrogen and iodine. At the same time, existing bond is getting weak. That is why it is indicated with bond. Next, in the next step, it will decompose. What will happen here? H will combine with I to form new bond HI and HI. This is the overall mechanism according to the collision theory. So hydrogen and iodine will make collisions to form the activated complex, where a new bonds will be formed, simultaneously the existing bonds will be weakened. And finally this activated complex being unstable, it has higher energy, so that it will decompose to give out the product. Now the same I will represent here in the potential energy diagram. If you take the reactants, for example, this is the energy possessed by the reactant molecules. Now these reactants are gaining energy, they will form the activated complex, and finally that will change into the product. Please try to understand. This is the energy of the activated state or activated complex. These are reactants here, and this is the product. This is called as energy profile diagram. Potential energy is taken on the y-axis, and reaction coordinate. Reaction coordinate means progress of the reaction. What you can see here, the reactants. What are the reactants here? Hydrogen plus iodine here. So they are reactant here, and they are colliding and forming the activated complex. The activated complex will have high energy, and immediately it will decompose. So here, if you observe the energy of the reactant molecules, this is the normal energy of the reactant molecules. What is meant by normal energy? The energy possessed by the reactant molecules in their normal state, that is ground state, is called as normal energy. That will not be sufficient to participate in the chemical reaction. For example, certain reaction needs some 40 kilojoules of energy to form the product, but they have only some 25 kilojoules. Already they have some energy. The energy possessed by ground state molecules in the ground state is normal energy. They require 40 kilojoules to form the activated complex, but they have only 25 kilojoules. Then when we heat, what will happen? That will absorb some 15 kilojoules or more. That means 25 plus 15 will become 40. So now with that energy they can form the activated complex. So that here the energy possessed by the ground state, in the ground state by the reactant molecules is normal energy, that is 25 joules, and additional energy we are giving is 15 joules, that is activation energy. The additional energy we are giving is called as or the minimum excess energy required by the reactants to form the activated complex is known as an activation energy. If you look here, this is the activation energy here. This is indicated with EA. If you look here, this is the additional energy. This is the normal energy. This portion is called as normal energy. Here I am indicated with the arrow mark here. This portion is normal energy of the reactants. Maybe here hydrogen and iodine are the reactants. Now here what is the product here? HI is the product here. HI is the product here. But if you observe here, these reactants are having more energy than the products. That means here there is an energy difference between the energy of the reactants and products. Observe here, this is the energy of the product, this portion is the energy of the products. This is the reactants energy. There is a gap, energy gap between reactants and product. That means products have lesser energy. That means products are liberating certain energy. That means it is nothing but an exothermic reaction. If the products have lesser energy than the reactants, it is called as an exothermic reaction. For example, here this reaction is an exothermic reaction. The opposite will be an endothermic reaction. For example, if you want to see that reaction also, if you see the energy profile here for endothermic reaction where energy is observed, so here this is the energy of the products here, reactants, and this is the activated complex, and this is the energy of the products. Look here, this is the activated complex here. These are reactants. Clearly what you can see, the products have more energy than the reactants. So what is that energy difference here? Delta H. So they will absorb that energy. That means products have more energy means that is they are absorbing. So here they are liberating. So liberation of energy means it is an exothermic reaction. Absorption of energy means it is an endothermic reaction. So that here it is an endothermic reaction. This is also energy diagram. And this is also energy diagram. So what you can say that the reactant molecules will collide by absorbing certain energy. The minimum additional energy required by them is known as activation energy. And they will form an activated complex which being unstable decomposes to give off the products. Please remember that this activation energy and normal energy together is called as the threshold energy. The minimum energy possessed by the reactant molecules is activation energy plus their normal energy. 25 joules is the normal energy and 15 joules is their activation energy. 25 plus 15, 40 is called as their threshold energy. The minimum energy possessed by the reacting molecules to form the activated complex is known as the threshold energy. The minimum excess required by the reactant molecules is known as the activation energy. This is what I had learned. So this is the effect of temperature. So here this activation energy is needed. How it is given? By increasing the temperature they will gain that additional energy. This is reactants energy and this is the additional energy they require. And it is gained by them by temperature. Actually this is also explained by Maxwell and Boltzmann. So here we are heating the reactants or we are increasing the temperature. But when you increase the temperature, I already told you that not all the reactant molecules will be absorbing the same energy. When they absorb energy, the reactant molecules' kinetic energy will be increased, but that will not be same. For example, let us see the Maxwell and Boltzmann distribution. When you increase the temperature, how the energy is distributed. So it is by Maxwell and Boltzmann distribution. Here the distribution is related to the distribution of their energies. What I am saying is, for example, if you have 100 molecules, if you give certain temperature, if you increase the temperature, not all the molecule will absorb same energy. Some will absorb more energy, some will absorb lesser energy, some will be moderate. So some will absorb energy exactly to their activation energy. For example, certain energy, some 40 joules is needed, they will absorb 40 joules only. Some molecules will absorb less than 40, some will more than 40. So only that have minimum energy will give the products. If the molecules which have absorbed lesser energy will not be producing the product, because though they have absorbed the energy, but that energy absorbed by them is insufficient to form the activated complex. What I mean here is, when you heat any reaction mixer, not all the molecules equally absorb the energy. You can see here. So what they have studied here. Here they have taken the kinetic energy and here they have taken the fraction of molecules. Fraction of molecules have been taken on the y-axis. They have observed that this is the distribution curve they had got. If you look here, this is the fraction of molecules. Fraction means just now I told you that. For example, if out of 100, some 60 molecules exactly have the required kinetic energy. Here kinetic energy means because activation energy is directly proportional to kinetic energy. When you increase the temperature, they will gain energy. Because of that, their kinetic energy will be increased. Because of that, they will collide and form activated complex. So that out of 100, I am saying that some 60 molecules have the required energy, exactly required energy. That means what is the fraction? 60 by 100. Some 25 molecules have lesser than the activation, mean required kinetic energy. That is 60 plus 25, 85 is over now. Out of 100, 60 by 40 having exact energy. Some 25 have lesser energy, that is 25 out of 100. 25 by 100 is the fraction. Remaining molecules is some 15 molecules, that is 15 by 100. They have higher energy than the required energy. This is the distribution. Some have exactly required energy, some have lesser energy, some have more energy. If you see here, this is the kinetic energy. This fraction gives this fraction of the molecules gives the kinetic energy possessed by the maximum number of molecules. In the given sample of the reactants, the kinetic energy that is possessed by the maximum number of molecules, highest fraction of the molecules. Now you can see that maximum number of molecules are having kinetic energy, and this is called as a most probable kinetic energy. What is most probable kinetic energy? The kinetic energy that is possessed by the maximum number of reactants in the sample. Now you can see that there are lesser number of molecules which have the which are lesser than the given kinetic energy, and there are a lesser number of molecules. So here width is more only at this point. That means number of molecules is higher here. So slowly the width is decreasing. That means here number of molecules with the given kinetic energy less than the given kinetic energy is less. Lesser number of molecules are there with less than the required kinetic energy. Lesser number of molecules, even here the molecule number is gradually decreasing. So when the height of this curve is decreasing, the number of molecules is decreasing. So the fraction of molecules which have lesser than the, more than the kinetic energy is also, required kinetic energy is also less. Less number of molecules will have more energy. Also less number of molecules will have lesser energy than the kinetic energy. And this is the distribution here. But when you increase the temperature, what will happen? Here fraction means very easy to understand it. Ne by n T you can write. N is the total number of molecules. Ne means the number of molecules which have exact activation energy. Now if you increase the temperature, what will happen? For example, same curve we will study at two different temperatures. Is there any change in the number of molecules reacting or not? We will find here. Let us examine at two temperatures. So here I am taking one temperature at T1 Kelvin. Here the fraction of molecules, again here same parameters are taken, fraction of molecules and kinetic energy is taken, but I am taking at a certain lower temperature T1 Kelvin. So this is at T degree centigrade, let it be T degree centigrade. Now I am increasing the temperature, higher temperature. For example, T plus 10. 25 degrees is initial temperature, 25 plus 10 is 35 degrees is the final. Now if I increase the temperature, so this is the curve here. Now when I increase the temperature, higher temperature, this is the curve obtained experimental. So experimentally this was the curve obtained here. It is higher temperature. Please try to understand that this curve is obtained at a higher temperature. The second curve that I am showing is higher temperature. Once again, I will show that the first one is at lower temperature, T degree centigrade. So here I will try and draw. So this is the cutoff line. That means it is the activation energy. So this portion of molecules will have activation energy or more than the activation energy. Only the molecules that have the required activation energy or more than the required activation energy will give the product. So this is the portion here. The area under this curve here, right hand to that EA, right side to the EA will be having the required kinetic energy. Remaining these molecules have lesser kinetic energy. You can see they are on the left hand side. All these molecules, they have lesser energy. They won't give the product. Now let us see the same in case of a higher temperature. So this is at a higher temperature, relatively higher temperature. Earlier one was a lower temperature. This is the portion at lower temperature, fraction of the molecules which are possessing the activation energy, minimum energy. They can give the product. Now it is higher temperature. Higher temperature means it is at T plus 10 degrees centigrade. You can see here at T plus 10 degrees centigrade, these are the additional molecules that are having the more kinetic energy. So this area is more now. If you see the area under the second curve, that is the T plus 10 degree, the area is more. That means more number of molecules are having now more than the required activation energy or more than the required activation energy. At T degrees, the less number of molecules have the required activation energy. Now if you see the area is more now, area below the curve is more, entire portion here. At higher temperature, there are more number of molecules producing the products, that have the required activation energy. So when you increase the temperature of reactants, what will happen at higher temperature? There will be more number of molecules possessing the minimum activation energy or more than that activation energy. So when there are more number of molecules with the required activation energy, the reaction rate will be increased. So this is the effect of temperature, which is explained by Maxwell and Boltzmann distribution curves. Actually, in this context, experimentally what they had observed is when you increase the rate of temperature by 35 degrees centigrade, the rate of reaction is increased to 2 to 3 times. That is explained by temperature coefficient. In this constant, temperature coefficient. So temperature coefficient is given with mu. What is mu? Mu is equals to K T plus 10 divided by K at T degrees centigrade. Please understand, what is the temperature coefficient? It is the ratio between the two velocity constants which are separated by 10 degrees centigrade is called as a temperature coefficient. So what is the definition of temperature coefficient? Ratio between two velocity constants separated by, what is the difference of those two velocity constants? 10 degrees centigrade. For example, if it is taken at 25 degrees centigrade, this velocity constant is rate constant is at 35 degrees centigrade. If the lower temperature is 40, the higher will be 50. Now the ratio between these two velocity constants which are separated by 10 degrees centigrade is called as temperature coefficient. What is observed, do you know? The temperature coefficient value will be 2 to 3 times. That means the velocity constant, the mu value will be 2 to 3 times. That means when you increase the temperature of the reaction, the rate constant will be either doubled or tripled. If you increase the 10 degrees centigrade, the rate constant will be either doubled or the rate constant will be tripled. It was experimentally observed. So this is temperature coefficient and what the effect of the temperature. We will explain Arrhenius equation terminology and application of Arrhenius equation in the next class. Thank you.